Alrighty, welcome to Trans Talk with Kai, where I interview other trans people about their experiences and their pros and cons, trials and tribulation to their transition. I hope this will be a good learning experience, and even if you don't learn, I hope you just enjoy. So come catch a vibe, and yeah, let's get it. Welcome back to another episode of Trans Talk with Kai, featuring
Zaire.
Here. Okay, so first thing we're gonna talk about today is them chasers, because I know you done had a few. Apparently, the majority of Sebastian's chasers are other trans people, but what's your take on that?
Trans chasers.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is a good selection of everything.
Okay.
I have male trans chasers, like cis male. I have trans male, trans women, and women, cis women, everybody. I literally get a little bit of everybody. The trans women are chasing because they want to have babies. I don't want to have no babies, so that eliminates me out of their equation. And I don't want penetration, so that eliminates me out of the equation. The niggas, they just something about it, fixation, something about being a bro and having a pussy. They just really like that. I don't know what that is. That's suspicious as hell. Live your truth, you know what I'm saying? The trans men, they just know like motions with the oceans. Because they're one of us, so they just like, yeah, what's up with it, bro? Like I done had a nigga be like, yeah, bro trip down in fucking Texas with with another trans nigga, and they're like, we gonna suck each other off and fuck, it's gonna be a bro trip. How was that a bro trip? We don't know. However, that was a thing. And then cisgender women, they're just curious. Like they be curious whether they're lesbian, straight, bisexual, pansexual. They're just curious. So did you just freeze, or are you looking at me like that? I think you froze, Kai. Yo, you need to see how funny this face look. Oh, how you leave?
We were having some technical difficulties, so you'll see that we were like in two different settings during this interview because my house hates me and my phone and Zoom. So yeah, the call kept dropping, but we worked with it. Talking about chasers.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start over with that then. I have chasers from all over. I have cisgendered male and female chasers, and then I have transgendered male and female chasers. So, with the trans women, it's more so they want to still have babies, so they're interested in trans men because they're probably attracted to men, and so that's just where they're gonna go for a baby. The trans men, it's like, hey, you're just like me type shit, and they're probably pansexual. Most of the time, that's what that is. The cisgendered folks, for women, it's like a fascination. It's like an experiment. They're intrigued. For men, it's something about, oh, you're a bro. Oh, you got a coochie. You're a bro with a coochie. And you don't have to, y'all can go out in public and still act like y'all just niggas hanging out and shit like that. But it's, that fixation, those DL niggas, they like that shit. So it's a bunch of them doing their own thing and for their own reasons. So yeah, chasers, yeah, they're a thing. I can't hear you.
Okay, so for you as a trans man, I think we already discussed this as far as like you not really being into like, men and stuff like that. So your partner preference would be more so cis women?
Yeah.
Okay. And your sex drive. Let's get into it.
Well, my sex drive is higher. I'm definitely more active. It's a little crazy. I know in the beginning, like, in the beginning of this shit, I was I was on some other shit. And then in the middle, I want to say my first year was like a roller coaster of hormones because I had to go ahead and buy me like one of the, it's not a rose, but it's like a rose, and it does that thing with the clit. I had to buy one of those. And when I tell you, and I had a wand. And when I tell you that, like, when I was driving back and forth from South Carolina and shit like that, I would have to pull over to bust a nut. Like, I had to bust nuts maybe about 10 times a day. That's how crazy it was. That's why, so we kept the vibrator on this. And so for any of my road trips, 9 times out of 10, if it took me longer to get home or longer to get there, it's because I masturbated multiple times throughout the trip. Some with the wand, I would do it while I was driving. With the other jump, I would pull over and I would enjoy my shit. I don't know why I was like that, but that shit was a little crazy. But now that I'm just like fucking every single day for most part, I'm pretty, I I, I think I think I'm good now. But
I can't say the same. I gotta go crazy. I just try to get it in, before work because I do work a lot. So I go crazy before and after, and I'll be up till like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I still use my vibrators. I just don't use them as much. But
I am heavy on that rose because um, although I do have a pretty creative cuddle buddy I might keep because that backward shit is crazy. But I digress. Um, the three H's: hungry, horny, and hot. We kind of just got into the horny a little bit, so you kind of answered that one. But how was your appetite and them hot flashes, my boy?
I hate the hot flashes. Like my partner even was like, you never used to complain about it being too hot and all this stuff. You would let me have the car super hot. You would let me have the room hot, all this stuff, and you would let me lay up on you even if it was hot. Now I don't let her do none of that shit. I'd be like, listen, if this heat gonna be on, I'm cracking the window. If you gonna have the heat on in a room, the window gonna be open. I'm trying to tell you something. I need some kind of air circulation. You will not be killing me in this hot ass vehicle. It be feeling like 100 degrees in this car, bro. And so it's not even just hot flashes for me. I just get hot really quick now. I be sweating bullets. So yeah, that heat flash, sons of a bitch, hate that. Hungriness. I started off. I had actually gained 30 pounds when I first started tea because I had an increase of appetite for red meat. My appetites have always been really weird. I'll go like years without eating red meat and then go back to eating red meat. But or I'll go a long time without eating chicken and stuff like that, and then I might eat it again. Like I'm really strange. I've had a few lifestyles where it's pescatarian, vegetarian. I've tried vegan once, so it's like I just be doing shit. I was eating a lot in the beginning. Now it's kind of slowed down. I also take into account to the fact that I be high, so I don't really know if it's that, but I know I eat more steak. That's a craving. Steak is a craving. If I don't have that once a week, we might have an issue. It's really strange. I don't know why. I ate way more, but I haven't really had no like abnormal cravings, I could say. Like for the most part, I still eat the same things. I just eat way more of it. And sensation wise, how has changes been? It's more intense. I feel my shit throb, and I mean, I feel like maybe I felt it before, but now it's more intense of a throb, I guess. I don't know. It's more stimulating. That's good. Okay. I feel like that's a pretty common consensus. And as far as like when it comes to dating as a trans man, that shit gets weird. So, but like I said, I know you're not really into men, so that wouldn't even really be an issue you have to deal with. But do you find it as far like because you wouldn't be interested in dating them, you know what I mean? So like it's probably something you would come across as far as like them trying to go with you, but like you wouldn't really experience that dynamic, so to speak. So like dating a cis man or like a you know what I mean, like dating a cis man or somebody who identifies as male. How would that like would you find it less complicated to date a lesbian or a bisexual woman? Do I find it more complicated to date a lesbian or a bisexual? Less complicated. Like what makes more sense for your transition so far as like what you've experienced? I really wish that pansexual was in that mix. However, I would choose bisexual because I've tried dating lesbians, and I really do feel like a trans male dating a lesbian is very controversial. It's contradicting because it's like you claim that you like women, and so you only like the anatomy of women, but I do not call myself a woman. So at some point, you are kind of neglecting yourself within your own label because you're laying up with a man that has a coochie, and not all of us like our coochie being touched, and not all of us call it a coochie. So it's like it's controversial, and then for a trans man, you're invalidating the fact that you're a man because you're dating a lesbian. So yes, you have in your mind, oh well, I'm the only nigga that she gonna ever want to fuck with. Nigga, you don't know that. After she's done dealing with you, you might just open the door for some of them like to call themselves pansexual lesbians. I don't know if I really agree with that fully, but if that's what you want to call yourself, I will respect your label. But I feel like it's just contradicting for a lesbian and a trans person to be dating, unless if it's a trans woman. Yeah. But see, that's where me and Sebastian were talking yesterday, and we're like because it's at this point it's no secret I am a whore, and it just is what it is. Like so, I've dated cis men, I've dated cis women. I haven't had any T on T interaction, although I'm definitely open to it because the girls be girling, but I don't know, they don't be feeling the kids. So hopefully I'll get to see what that's about. But like dating cis women, it's weird because they were either bisexual, pansexual. I didn't really put in the mix because I feel like that's just kind of like a given. You know what I'm like? Obviously, they're just more bound to being neutral with it. You know what I mean? That's a comfort zone because it's really just vibes, not anatomy. So that's a safe space. But with bisexual women, it's like they're attracted to the female anatomy, but the male roughness. So when it comes to certain situations, they still treat you, they treat you like a masculine woman, and that's not the case. You see what I'm saying?
And cis men do the same thing. They just treat you like you a next level stud or some shit. What are you doing, little dog? Okay, that works. But yeah, so like, you know, that whole thing, it's like the lines get blurred as far as your pronouns, your identification, and your transition when it comes to how they have to identify with you. So that can get pretty weird because like I remember I was dating this dude and like it was real hard for him to use my pronouns and you know, acknowledge my transition because us being in a relationship didn't, I mean, like by any means, you don't have to identify as gay, but you cannot say that this is a heterosexual relationship because that means you're saying that I am not a man. And you're only saying that I'm not a man because you don't want to be considered a gay man. And I don't feel like that's fair to me or my transition. Like I said, by no means do you have to identify yourself as gay, but that was a gay relationship. And that's where the lines got blurred. So that's also important. It's important to, you know, have these talks because this obviously is something weird that we all experience at some point or have come across. Look at him. He is such a baby. You're spoiled. You know that? I love you. Say hi, Zaire. But yeah, that's
I'm saying hi to the dog.
Let me try and kiss me in my face. You know we don't do that. But that's all the questions for today's segment. And until the next chat, Brody.
All right.
Lucky. I don't know. Look, I don't know if this is against YouTube little guidelines or whatever, but shit, anybody in the DC area need to hit bro up. Send me your links and stuff so I can drop them in the description. Get this work in, networking and spreading love. Later, bro. Say bye bye.